What is up, Steelers Nation? Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. I'm Noah Strackbine, joined always by my main man, Jacob Punturi. Find us on youtube.com/All Steelers Talk, or check us out anywhere you get your podcast. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they got the final word on Aaron Rodgers, and they're keeping it a little bit in the dark, but I think we've got some insight into whether or not Aaron Rodgers will play on Sunday. Meanwhile, a couple other injuries that we got to dive into, including Jaylen Warren and Alex Highsmith, both two big names that will be on the Steelers injury report whenever it does drop. And we are making picks for Week 12 in Chicago. It's a good one here in the Berg. A little cloudy, but the sun doesn't usually come out this time of year, so it's still a good day. How you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling good. And as you were saying that, the injury report, of course, comes out as
Beautiful.
you're talking and welcoming
Beautiful.
us in. I'm excited because Aaron Rodgers is questionable, baby. And so is Darius Slay, thank goodness. And
Shout out.
who else we got? Alex Highsmith, doubtful.
That's no surprise.
Week 12
no
here.
surprise. What about Jaylen Warren?
Jaylen Warren was a full participant with no injury designation after
Beautiful.
today's practice. So that's huge. But yeah, man, doing good. We got a big matchup this weekend. I'm excited. I don't even want to waste any time. I'm so pumped because Jack just messaged us about the injury report coming out.
Beautiful times. Beautiful times. Love to see nothing on Jaylen Warren. We'll dive into that. We'll dive into Darius Slay as well. Let's talk Aaron Rodgers here. He practiced today in a quote-unquote limited capacity, according to Mike Tomlin. He was questionable heading into the game. His cast has upgraded from a sleeve that you get when you go to CVS to a full-blown, I fell off the scooter, please sign my cast. He has a full-blown broken wrist at this point. And, well, I'm going to be really honest with you. From what we've seen the last couple of days, maybe he's questionable, but I got a hard time thinking he is not going to play in this game. You were there today. You watched practice. You spoke to Mike Tomlin. You saw Aaron Rodgers. What's the insight? What did you see? What's your thoughts on Rodgers on Sunday?
I think being there today, you can only describe it as optimistic. I mean, I think just even from yesterday, even from Wednesday, and as this week has progressed, it has gone from a rather bleak outlook at the possibility of him playing, at least from my perspective, to it's hard to imagine a world where he is not on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Chicago Bears. He was very active in this final practice session. Did not leave me with a lot of doubt as far as that is concerned, if I'm being perfectly blunt. Like, he seemed good to go. It seemed like whatever they were doing to secure that non-throwing hand was working. He seemed comfortable working play action, working handoffs, throwing the ball, of course, was not an issue at all. Didn't seem like there was any miscommunications or huge issues that they were working out, in real time during the practice. So it led me to feel a certain level of optimism that I think is led me to be surprised that he was called a limited participant. Yes, a little bit of surprise that he is questionable. And I think maybe there's just a little gamesmanship going on here. And I don't know. I think Steelers Nation should probably have a lot of reasons to be excited for Sunday.
Yeah, I very much so agree. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is I have such a hard time. I love the game, okay? I love the game. I love the game that Mike Tomlin and the NFL head coaches play when they're trying to mess with each other, when they're trying to game plan. The NFL is so secretive. I mean, you go to the Steelers facility on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and there's big giant tarps that are there blocking the field so that, the Baltimore Ravens don't show up across the street and spy on practice. That's how you could say that it's just a football game, but it's so much more than just a football game. Mike Tomlin knew on Tuesday Mike Tomlin knew the second Aaron Rodgers got hurt that Aaron Rodgers was questionable going into the weekend. It was halftime of the Bengals game, and Mike Tomlin's going, all right, Rodgers will be questionable going into Week 12. That's how we'll approach this no matter what. And it didn't matter what he did. Limited capacity was all he was going to get on that injury report. The Steelers, it does not, limited is so broad. So for those of you who are wondering what a limited practice report can be, if you miss 4 snaps, you're limited. You could do anything you want. If you walk out of practice 5 minutes early, whether it's for an injury or not, that could be limited. It does not have to have a specific time frame. It doesn't mean you have to practice more or less than 5%. It means you did not practice the entire time, but you practiced to some degree. For the Steelers, chances are it's pretty much all of it, 99% at most. I expect Aaron Rodgers to go on Sunday. The Steelers, ironically, and I don't know where this came from. I apologize. I read it in one of our comments. If it was you, thank you. The Steelers have not won in Soldier Field in 30 years. Aaron Rodgers, something about Aaron Rodgers. I don't remember. Steelers haven't won in Soldier Field in 30 years. Is the Aaron Rodgers effect strong enough to break that this weekend?
It's a great question. I have some numbers that might be a little bit helpful here. All-time regular season record, I believe. Steelers are 8-22-1. We could talk about their last. They have their last 5 matchups have been not great. But Aaron Rodgers, 24-5 all time. It's quite incredible when you look back at what he did facing them twice a year as a member of the NFC North. I mean, you could just go back through those final couple of years that he was with the Green Bay Packers. He was putting up 400, 500 yards combined over those 2 games, picking up in 2021. He threw for 6 touchdowns against the Bears and 536 yards in 2 games. The year before, he threw for 8 touchdowns in 2 games. I mean, there is.
Dude, I thought you said 1 game. Can we just go back to my bold prediction from yesterday and acknowledge that this is very possible? That it's very possible for Aaron Rodgers to have a 4 touchdown game against the Chicago Bears. All right, let's ask it for the last time here. Does he play?
I believe he plays, and I am 9 out of 10 level of confidence in that statement.
Yeah. Do you think that the Steelers offense is full go, no holding Rodgers back? This is normal. This is how we're running it despite the injury.
Yes. Yeah, if he's in the game, there's no short leash. I don't necessarily believe that. If he's in the game, I don't think there's any tempering of the game plan or any sort of shortening of what they want Aaron Rodgers to do. If he's in the game, they are executing the offense as best as they possibly can with no deviation from what they've been trying to do. Now, is that an impressive sort of thing? Outside of their average points per game, no, right? Like there's not a lot about maintaining the status quo of the offense that is particularly important, right? But having Aaron Rodgers gives them their best chance to win on Sunday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts regarding that.
Yeah, I very much so agree. All right, so my Rodgers playing meter is a sound 9 out of 10, just like yourself. Easy, no questions asked. Does the offense change? I think a little bit. Until Rodgers starts to tell somebody to back off. You know what I mean? I think the Steelers look at it at first and say, this has got to be Jaylen Warren. This has got to be run heavy. This has got to be some adjustments. And then I think at some point, Aaron looks Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin in the eyes and says, shut the hell up. I've beaten this team 1,000,000 times. I'm going to do it again. Back off. And when that happens, I think the Steelers run their normal offense. And that normal offense looks a lot more like Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 40 times than it has with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball 20 times. I actually think with a broken wrist, by the end of this game, Aaron Rodgers completes more passes or throws more passes than he's thrown at all this season. That's where I see this game going. Because I think at some point, he's just going to take over.
Yeah. I don't think that's a crazy train of thought at all. I think it might even be, it's definitely going to be beneficial for Aaron Rodgers to get rid of the ball as quickly as possible, right? Like the biggest risk to him right now is taking another hit that, causes another injury or fractures a different bone in that non-throwing hand. Who knows, delays the rehabilitation process, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You cannot get into a situation like that. I think it kind of lends itself to a pass heavy game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because when, at least from what I've heard in the conversations going on, the concerns are like, how will his offhand work when he's handing the ball off? he likes to use it in certain play action sets. Like, how will those plays work? Will that be affected? Him throwing the ball, him just getting rid of it real quick, him just slinging it over the middle, like that's not any part of his game that's going to be impacted. And the less he has to sustain any stress to that non-throwing hand, the less that he has the ball out of his hands in general, I think is only going to be keeping him safer and probably giving the Steelers a better chance to win, especially given the Bears' most recent injury report also coming out, and they're banged up on the defensive side of the ball.
How do you approach the Bears with the injuries that they've lost both of their starting inside linebackers, I believe. Their defensive captain. Do you? I mean, there's one name everybody would like to see. That name is Darnell Washington. Is that how you approach this? Is this a Darnell Washington happy game here? Is this a Mount Washington in the Windy City weekend in Chicago?
Man, it's an entirely different altitude up where he's catching the ball. So I mean, there's serious
Super
concern
windy.
if you're the Chicago Bears. Yeah, it's so windy. It's like a fourth. It's crazy. I think
the Sears Tower, Mount Washington, very similar, almost identical, almost identical.
Right there. If any of our listeners could verify that with science, for sure. And I think there is the middle of the field is open, right? Like the Chicago Bears have, for this season, and have been a very bad team at stopping the run. They've allowed, I think it's like 130 rushing yards per game or something like that, like near the bottom of the league. Take away two of their inside linebackers, a third one's injured as well. How effective are they going to be at stopping the run, and how effective are they going to be at those routes that are taking over the middle of the field? Again, you need Aaron Rodgers to get rid of the ball quickly. Can you force your way, exploit the middle of the field, exploit what the injuries are to Chicago? Darnell Washington's a key piece. I think DK Metcalf is a key piece too, to exploiting it and trying to get him back on track as well, as that continues to be a sort of secondary narrative to the Steelers' second half of the season.
Which of the tight ends or the passing options do you think has the best game? I'll give you my guess first, because I feel like I'm just making you talk here. I think Pat Freiermuth goes off for like 100 and some yards in this game. I just feel, look at the Jonnu. This could be an exploit Jonnu's strength of those 3-yard catches. It definitely could be. I think this is you are not going to be able to play an efficient zone defense, and because of that, Pat Freiermuth's going to take over. I see this as a Pat Freiermuth game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and maybe Darnell second, but I also think Jonnu could come out here. But I'm saying Pat over 100 yards is where I'm going with this one.
Wow. I totally see where your head is at and like how you're arriving there. I think really if the zone defense of the Chicago Bears is going to be this very easy weakness to go after, I think that's even more reason to believe in DK Metcalf this weekend. And maybe you disagree. Maybe it is the tight ends.
Love a good DK Metcalf.
They need it, And I think if there ever was a time to bust up some zone coverage, DK Metcalf is a pretty effective receiver at that. Just, you got to make sure he's catching the ball. I just think, as much as I really want to see this momentum continue for Darnell Washington, I think you can continue to feed him. You can give Pat some catches. You can maybe work Jonnu Smith in, give him 12 more 3-yard receptions for 36 yards. Just keep him involved, that sort of thing. But I think DK Metcalf has to be the focus, and you got to get him off the schneid somehow. So if this is how you do it, okay with me.
All right, let's talk Jaylen Warren, Alex Highsmith, and Darius Slade. Don't anticipate Alex Highsmith playing this week. The pec injury, like we've been saying, is going to keep him out. Jaylen Warren, massive. Do you expect him to be on a snap count more than he already is, which is ridiculous because of the ankle injury?
No, I don't. I liked what I saw today. Didn't give me any indication that, he is still hampered by whatever was bothering him. I know we talked about this a couple of times. I think he was, he wanted to come back into that game against Cincinnati, but there was a lot of precaution taken and him not coming back in the second half. So I think all things considered, he's good to go. The only snap count is, like you mentioned, it's, the imposed one from the offensive scheme and what they're doing. And, a lot of it has to do with Kenny Gainwell too. They just continue to love and value him more and more as the season goes on. And, second most targeted receiver on the entire team is Kenny Gainwell. So
that's so nuts that he is the second most targeted. We on this channel, and by we I mean me, have gone for years of just bagging on good old Mason Rudolph as check down Mason, the check down king. Doesn't even come close to when I can only imagine where things would be if Kenny G was on the field. I can only imagine. It would be unbearable. Kenny would break every touch or every receiving record humanly possible. I don't expect much of a snap count. However, I do look at it like the Steelers will. It's just like the Aaron Rodgers questions earlier in the week. Like, if something happens, do they pull him immediately? I think Jalen is that kind of guy. Jalen is the guy that if there is any issue, if he comes limping off the field one time, Jalen is not going to play nearly as much as the Steelers anticipate him going into it. They're not going to risk anything in Jalen Warren. There's just no point to risk it. Jalen Warren is equally as important as an Aaron Rodgers. Like you can't lose Jalen Warren. Don't get me wrong. You lose Jalen Warren, you lose Aaron Rodgers. One of them means you can never get to a Super Bowl. The other one means you have to go find another running back. I get it, but Jalen is significant to this offense. There's no reason to rush it right now. I think that's the only time. The only thing I see with that is how many games have we watched where Jalen Warren's come limping off the sideline? A lot of them. There are a lot of games where he's a little muscle hamster, dude. He gets beat up down there. And I think at any moment that could happen. And that's where I see some pullback if it happens. Darius Slay is the other one. Are we getting a James Pierre Island game 2.0 in this one?
Can I tell you what I think might have been the biggest potential bit of gamesmanship here from Mike Tomlin? I guess maybe this is my last shred of hope for the situation as well. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that Tomlin has more plans already in place to use James Pierre than he has talked about throughout this week. And I think some of the conversations about Darius Slay returning to that starting role on the outside is a lot of obligatory conversations, a lot of stuff that has to be said, a lot of showings of respect to Darius Slay. And he might even still be the first or the second cornerback on the outside to begin the first defensive series. But I have a sneaking suspicion that Pierre Island, Pierre Peninsula, Pierre Pangea, whatever you want to call it, is making a comeback quite strongly in week 12. Yeah, because it's all locked down in one.
I love a good old Pierre Island. I see it coming. I agree with you. I hope that Darius Slay is on a short leash if he does play. Him being questionable means that he has to still get cleared for his concussion. And the sneezes, man. I think that's one a week. I think once a week I sneeze on the show. I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to something going on.
To Darius Slay.
You don't know what's allergic to Darius Slay. You don't know what's allergic to Darius Slay. Footballs. Yeah, for sure on that one. For sure. All right, there's another big one here. Cam Hayward listed as questionable. This is what everyone's talking about. You saw the injury report as it came out. What is the news there? That's almost that's breaking at this point. I don't know anything about this.
That feels like breaking. What could I did not see anything happen at
What's
practice.
The injury? Do we know?
It's veteran rest day, actually. I think it's a designation if I'm getting the most up to date. It says rest/ankle. So
it's an ankle.
The ankle might be the thing that's bugging him.
Yeah, I would
probably
imagine
not the rest. If I had to guess.
Did he practice today?
He was on the field. He was the first team defense, did very little, very little. I would say it's very hard to classify anyone as being a limited participant on the defensive side of the ball, because if you showed up, you pretty much got, it's like just attendance matters on a Friday. That's about it.
According to Nick Fairbaugh and the chat here, he was in a walking boot in locker room afterwards. That's pretty massive.
That's huge.
That's huge. Cam Hayward may not be out there. That's significant. I don't know. Again, this is breaking to me. I wasn't there today. I didn't have any idea what was going on. And I got to tell you that this is massive for the defense, especially against a team where the quarterback loves to get a little crazy. And you want to know who's great at stopping crazy? A sound pass rush in Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, and everybody else. I mean, is this, I don't know if we expect him to play, but if he doesn't, how does the defensive front adjust? Where do they go? Keanu Benton bounce over Y.E. Black. Does Y.E. Black start in the side? How do you go about this?
Oh, I mean, it's a huge loss if that is the case, and I just can't. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense, their defensive line has been, marginal in terms of their effectiveness, right? Like I talked about this on Puntori's playbook, but our buddy Warren Sharp, his some Sharp football analysis, their pressure rate of the defensive line when blitzing is 15th in the NFL. Their pressure rate on non-blitz plays is 20th in the NFL. Their rush stuff rate is 26th in the NFL. So, the defensive line with Cam Hayward was certainly not being an elite group. You look at what a possible ankle injury could be dealing with. That's tough. You got to have a big game from Keanu Benton, and you got to just hope that maybe that is like a situation where someone can step up and rise up from that situation. But yeah, that's a huge loss if they cannot get him to go.
How I envision the defensive front, and tell me your thoughts here, is Keanu and Derek Harmon playing defensive tackles. I think Y.E. Black starts in the nose and stays there. Then you got veterans obviously coming off the bench if he doesn't play, but I envision it to be Keanu Benton and Derek Harmon very heavy at that 3 tech instead of right in front of the center at the nose.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's, I think there is a lot of hesitancy from the Pittsburgh Steelers to plug Y.A. Black into that nose tackle position for an extended period of time. I think when you look at where he's been mostly playing, it's been as like a left D tackle for a lot of his alignments. And I'm not sure if that is because he's still developing the techniques, the certain qualities they are looking for in a pure D tackle, in a pure nose tackle in their 3-4 defense. But Keanu Benton is certainly someone that they trust to line up there. So I think it's going to be just a ton of Keanu Benton, a ton of Derek Harmon, a ton of Y.E. Black. I don't anticipate Y.E. Black spending the majority of his snaps at the nose tackle position, though.
So you're okay. I would imagine it's a lot of sub package, very little base. When they go to base, I could understand that. But I, if I had to guess, they are going to try to keep at least one defensive lineman off the field at all times in this game.
And it creates a really great opportunity, and they've experimented with it when Alex Highsmith was on the field, is you had a 5 pass rush unit, and 3 of them were your edge rushers, right? And so I think you could, if you have Alex Highsmith on the field, it allows you to do that, and you don't sacrifice really anything in terms of pass rush, run stuffing, pass coverage. It all seems to come out in the wash there, but you don't have Alex Highsmith. Can you ask someone like a Jack Sawyer to step up in that situation? I don't think you can. I think you have to rely on Derek Harmon and Keanu Benton to not only sustain the defensive line, but be, difference makers along that unit.
Very much so agree. All right. It's Friday. Let's make our picks. The Pittsburgh Steelers head to Chicago, a place they haven't won in 30 years. They are 2.5-point underdogs in this one, 44.5 over under. Aaron wins there a lot. The Steelers do not win there ever. Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers, who's starting? We all know who's starting, but the question's still out there. We got one question left to answer. What's your pick in this one, brother? 2.5, Chicago Bears.
Well, there was once a dunce in front of you picking scores. Today tries not to be that again. I hope I'm right this time. Probably won't be. I think Vegas has done some fantastic work heading into this matchup. Okay. But I do think the Steelers are going to make a difference. And I think Aaron Rodgers is the fire versus the water that is the Steelers record versus the Bears. I think just this time around, Aaron Rodgers is just going to be a little bit too powerful. I have the Steelers 24-21 getting their 7th win of the season.
24-21. You know that you're the opposite of Vegas. I know you don't bet, but you are the opposite of Vegas. Vegas has the Bears winning by 2.5.
That makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm the anti-Vegas. I'm fine with that.
As it came out, I was like, my brain got a little scrambled for a second, and I went, wait a minute. Did I read something wrong? All right, 24-21. That's good. The last time you picked a team to score 24 points, they scored 10? Was it 10? 12? What are the Bengals?
I predicted them to score
play?
28, you sicko.
I apologize. All right. I think Aaron Rodgers plays in this game. I think it's impossible to keep him off the field in this. He's got a little Scooter Kid cast on. He's ready to go. The Steelers are going to be fine. They get their offense. Aaron Rodgers will be taking everything in the snap or in the shotgun. Jaylen Warren and Kenny G both operate pretty well in the shotgun. I think that'll be fine. Cam Hayward's a significant loss if he doesn't play for the Steelers. Darius Slay not playing may be a significant gain for the Steelers. That's yet to be known. I think the Steelers, if Rodgers plays, which he is, they continue this one. They let Green Bay down. Rodgers should have got his win against Green Bay. But this is not the Steelers got to win this one for Rodgers game. This is Rodgers just wants to put a spanking on the Bears. On the city of Chicago, one more time, he wants to say, "Duh, Bears," boom. That's what he wants to do. I think he gets it. Pittsburgh Steelers win this one 31-21 in the city of Chicago, because on Monday, we're talking about how Aaron Rodgers still owns them. And maybe the Bears aren't that good. That's what we're talking about on Monday. Do I think it could go the other way around? Certainly. Do I think the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers have an upper hand? I went on a whole rant when we were making our picks about, I convinced you that the Steelers would beat Chicago because of one man and one man only, and that man owns the city of Chicago. That man is Aaron Rodgers. I think it stands true. He's not missing this one. 31-21, Pittsburgh Steelers in week 12. And we go from there.
Wow.
And we go from there. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. With that said, that's everything on our agenda. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of it, we'll start answering your questions. We're back in 30 seconds.
Pittsburgh, this one's for you. From the voices behind all Steelers talk comes Black and Gold apparel, your go-to for bold, fan-driven merch that reps the city, the Steelers, and everything in between. Whether you bleed black and gold or just love that Pittsburgh grit, we've got something for you. It's more than a podcast. It's a community. And thanks to your support, we're proud to bring the passion from our mics to your closets. Gear up, stand out, and show the world what real fans look like. Shop now at blackandgoldapparel.myshopify.com.
All righty. Shout out to our super chatters. Shout out to our members. Can't thank you guys enough. I want to start with the good old Sir Kush Lord, because this one got me as we're going. Before we get going, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. LMFAO, I've been waiting for this. I told you so moment for the beloved Corey Trice. Don't wish injury on that guy, but the best ability is availability. We totally glanced over good old Corey Trice. Good old Corey Trice being shut down for the season. Will he ever play a game for the Pittsburgh Steelers again?
No. It is a difficult thing. You do not wish injury upon anybody, like Sikush Lord says here in the comments as well. It's been a really unfortunate road for Corey Trice. Nothing but talent, nothing but so much in front of him, and injuries at every single level, even before he entered the NFL, have just continued to hold this man back. It stinks. You wish him nothing but the best. You wish him nothing but health moving forward, but man, the Steelers have given him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feels like infinity chances to be an impact player. And in 3 years with the team, he's played 6 games out of a possible 51. It's just hard. It's just
It's
hard
hard.
to justify keeping him around. Potential only lasts for so long.
I agree. I did a whole to-go today that I think he never dresses in a Steelers uniform again. I
Right.
think they bring him back for the summer? Yeah, definitely. I think the first time he gets injured, he's released on an injury settlement, and his time comes to an end. That's what I think happens. Shout out to Carl, Mean Cup of Joe, Green Beans, Salad, Spackler, gifted an All Steelers Talk membership. If you snag that one, can't thank you enough. Cody Silva, Slay has to play. He's too good to leave on the bench. Cody, brother, man. We all know you're trolling here. We all know you're. Look, Darius Slay coming off the bench, I got no issues with. It's not like Darius Slay should not be in the NFL.
What
But
do you think is the
James Pierce
worst?
look better.
James Pierce looks way better. What do you think is the worst? What do you think is the wrongest Steelers take you could say with a straight face? Because I don't even know how you read that. I don't even know how you read that sentence.
I know he's trolling, dude. Cody's been here for so long. The craziest Steelers take ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Give me something on a Friday, brother.
I mean, there was a lot of talk about how Kenny Pickett's going to be the next great quarterback. There was a lot of that talk. You turned on local radio, Kenny Pickett was the next coming of Christ. He was not it. That's up there for sure. I'll tell you the most recent one. You don't know the most recent one? And no disrespect here, but to all the people who sat around saying Najee Harris is better than Jaylen Warren, I laugh. I laugh at you because Jaylen Warren, I knew for 2 years Jaylen Warren is better than Najee Harris. For 2 years, I was sitting here saying Jaylen Warren's better than Najee Harris. People tell me, shut up. No, Jaylen Warren's a stud. Najee Harris is a backup running back in the NFL, and a good one, but a backup. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Fiery on a Friday.
Shout out to Cody Silva getting us going. Silva's got another one here. Slay equals Jacob's favorite Cordero Patterson. Honestly,
nightmare blunt rotation.
the craziest part is Darius Slay is still miles better at doing significantly more. Shout out to CP84, baby.
Yeah, that CP84 at last year compared to what Darius Slay does this year, night and day difference. Darius Slay is a legitimate reserve player.
Yeah,
Cordero Patterson was like not like we're boys now, so I can't poop on him no more. But
nah, dude, y'all are tight. Y'all are tight,
buddies.
Diamond, I think all the other games were to prove something to others for Rodgers, but this one is to prove something to himself. I don't think this is like a prove it game for even Rodgers. Like, I think this is okay, when I go back to Scranton, my brothers will be there. I'm the oldest brother, grew up beating up my younger brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was just
popping them.
Yeah. And when I go back home, we'll play basketball or something, or we'll have a little football game in the backyard with the neighbors, whatever. Either way, I'm going to beat the absolute crap out of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just like, I know it's coming. I'm going to have a blast doing it. I wouldn't miss that game for the life of me. That's how I look at Aaron Rodgers. He's looking at this going, this is a small child, and I'm going to punt it into $1 billion. That's what I'm going to do because I've been doing it for 20 years. Yeah, that's the exact reference that he's going to use. It's the exact one. I think this is just Aaron Rodgers going, I just want to be a bully one more time. I just want to bully the Bears because that's fun to me. And that's sadistic and I love it. That's what makes football great.
Since I have 2 older brothers.
Yeah, dude, you got
I didn't get to do a lot of the popping, you know what I mean? Wasn't doing a lot of that.
I know.
And my other siblings are a decade and a half younger than me. So, can't pop them when you're babysitting. You know what I mean? Can't be doing that.
Can't be doing it. Can't be
just
doing
all
it.
just love and affection. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. Every time I go home, I wake my younger brother up. I give him a little, and then he freaks out. I go, "That's 2." That's how he starts every morning when I'm home. Imagine that on Christmas morning, like 6 a.m. That's how it starts. Love you, Dakota. Shout out.
First present.
Chris, Guys, yesterday I said we should trade down this year for an extra 2027 first-round pick. If we want a franchise quarterback in 2027, we need it to trade up. Okay, so Chris, I'd be very interested to know if you think that trading for additional second or third round picks also gives the Steelers that convenience, because I mean, you could look at the Kansas City Chiefs, who moved to 20-10 to go get Patrick Mahomes, and they only gave up one first round pick to go get it on top of the first round pick that year. So if you were to add more second or third round picks, would you be able to do that same thing? I personally think you would be able to. I think you'd be able to move up with additional second or third. I also I don't know, I saw a TikTok today that said it was some dude standing around and he was walking through every room in his house, and it was the years going by with the average price of a home to buy a home. And every time it changed, he goes, I should have bought a house last year. I should have bought a house last year. I should have bought a house. How long do we go before you go, should have drafted a quarterback last year? Should have drafted does Mason Rudolph need to be the starting quarterback for 2 years? Do you have to find yourself staring at Justin Fields again? Does Jameis Winston end up in Pittsburgh before you go, all right, maybe it's just time to just bite the bullet on anybody? I get it. You don't want another Kenny Pickett, but at what point do you just say, screw it and just do it?
Screw it. Just do it. My favorite Dr. Seuss book. And he
was talking about the Steelers in that book.
Talking about the Steelers. I think that the Steelers could use future assets to move up in the 27 draft if that's their target. I don't think they need to prioritize getting the more draft picks specifically in 2027 with the end goal of getting their quarterback in 27. That might be how the plans have shifted long term, right? Like that certainly might be the case. I think you could use a 28 pick to your advantage. You can use a 29 pick. Like, you don't know what roster players might be appealing to a certain organization you would need to leapfrog or to swap picks with, whatever the case is. I love the intent of having such an intentional, long-term view for the Steelers and being all right, we're all in on 27. This is when we're going to get our guy. But I think getting up in the draft is going to be a lot easier in 27, closer to the draft, than you don't need to worry about it right in this instance, heading into, the end of the 25 season, looking towards the off season here.
Yeah. I agree here. Kicking it to Chris. Pierre entered the area to Stone Cold's music. Entered the arena to Stone Cold. He dropped Slay with the Stone Cold Stunner and walked out with the big play Pierre title. Legend. Shout out my guy, James Pierre. That would be awesome if it just... I wish that it was home. I wish that the game was home and that the Steelers announced the defense, and instead of Cam coming out last, the whole stadium went black and silent. And then all of a sudden you just heard an eagle soar or something, and a broken glass and big smoke, and all on the screen just said Pierre Island. And then it was just blast and renegade as he's just running out from the thing. I wish that's how it happened, actually, just to give some love, dude. It would be so awesome.
Comes out in a vest, the Stone Cold vest. He's like, you mealy mouth bastard. What?
That's what I would love it so much, dude. I would love it so much. One Duff, I had to call my cousin and tell him next time I mention Corey Trice, he could smack me. We're not laughing at the names there, Jacob. We're not laughing at the names. We're trying not to give the nonsense in the chat attention anymore.
I'm laughing at how you shortened it like a pro.
Yeah. I'm done with the nonsense in the chat, guys. From all you. Cody Silva. Jacob, talk about how much better the team would be without Darius.
Your previous sentence, Noah, was I'm done with the nonsense in the chat.
Well, this one's on you. This is the nonsense towards you. This is the nonsense
How long
towards
do I have to
you.
go for?
At least 5 minutes.
Okay. So we're doing... I just watched Death by Lightning, so I could probably give a rousing speech.
I don't know what that means.
It's a TV show on Netflix. You might.
Let me tell you this. I have a great movie reference story for you, actually.
Whoa.
I was, my car situation. For those of you who don't know my car situation, my car lease was up or is up or whatever. Went to go get a new car, bought a car, was ready to go, had that car for a week. The dealership that I will not name because I'm better than that called me when I left the place. They didn't have the title. They told me, do your thing. They'll call me when the title gets here. They called me. They told me they messed up on the final numbers. I owe them $3,000 more. I said, no chance, brother. They said, give me the car back then. I said, all right, you can have the car. Because at that point, it's principal. I don't want that car. You can take your tampered car. Anyways, I've been like just hustling on the car search because I'm pretty much carless right now. And I was in a test drive the other day, and this dude started making a bunch of movie references without actually referencing the movies. And I was just laughing. And then at some point he was like, great movie, huh? And I was like, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I had no idea that you've been making movie references this whole time. I thought you were just funny. I thought you were just a funny guy. And he's like, no. And then he looked at me. He's like, you've never seen that movie? I'm like, yeah, you could have named any movie. I wouldn't have seen it. So shout out.
That's incredible. You're like, this guy's hilarious. He's like, Will Ferrell wrote this, man. Like, I didn't write this.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is This is Talladega Nights. Be like, I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years. Great movie. Haven't seen in like 10 years. All right, go ahead. Darius Slay. Have fun.
There was a time when the steel curtain stood strong. There was a time when the defense in Pittsburgh was feared more than any military in the world. And then the 2020s hit. And then 2025, here we are. Secondary's not good. They're trying. It's still not good. And listen, I can't just like bash Darius Slay. He has not been good. They would be better.
Images of Ross Cockrell just flashing before all of our eyes.
Sean Davis.
Yeah, the Artie Burns holding up his jersey at the draft.
Sandquist Golston's dreams and hopes floating away.
He just shifts miraculously right into Corey Trice. They become one. There it is. Shout out.
And all that say, Darius Slay, great human, great veteran presence, not an effective cornerback right now for the Steelers. I'll take James Pierre every day over him right now.
All day. Chris, yes, whatever moves it takes for franchise quarterback all day. It is time to end the run, the cycle, the misery of everyone with the veteran quarterbacks. Maddie, okay, what is more important in the first round of the draft next year besides quarterback, corner or wide receiver? Who do you like in that positions? Free agents, can we acquire in those positions to help? I like Tate and Delane, to be honest. I'm a big Delane guy. Who's the dude out of Tennessee? McCoy? Gerard McCoy? Jermad McCoy. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like Delane as well, though. I think I'm like a little PTSD from Caleb Farley, which, I shouldn't be.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. It's just the Virginia Tech thing. Maybe I just hate James Franklin that much. I have no idea.
Sounded like,
but I'm
the sour hour over there.
Sour hour. Shout out to Benny Hot Takes. If you know, you know. I'm a big McCoy guy. I like Delane. I think they're 1A, 1B on the list right now. They're probably going to be the first two corners off the board. I think Tate's a realistic name for the Steelers or for the first round. He's like the best. He's easily, in my eyes, the best option in the first. My problem is I think he's going to be so far gone.
I mean, and this is kind of an aside, but I don't really think the Steelers are going to pick any higher than like 17, right? Like that doesn't seem really in the cards right now. So now you're talking about a totally different, set of players and hoping maybe one or two or three of the top, the cream of the crop fall down to you there, but it's a totally different group. I think you look at someone like Carnell Tate. Now we're talking, I think those wide receivers are something that feels a little, right now at least, a lot more plausible for the Steelers and where they're going to end up picking in the first round compared to like targeting one of those top corners, one of those top, edge rushers, defensive tackles, insert other positions there.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's that. If you had to guess right now, Steelers draft board without players, what's the top 3 positions?
Ooh, top 3 positions.
Realistically, like how do you think they are viewing it?
I think defensive tackle is, I don't know if I can do this like 1, 2, 3 more important, but I'll give you the 3 that I think are probably
are on their list.
The team.
Yeah.
D tackle, interior guard, left side, obviously to replace Siamalu, and I think wide receiver. I think it's 1, 2, 3. Put it in whatever importance you want. And then cornerback and quarterback are like 3B, 3C.
If they're available.
If they're available.
Yeah. I think wide receivers on that list. I think guard might be on that list, but to be honest with you, I think tackle might be on that list. Maybe.
Should be. I think it's
Should be. I think you're spot on with defensive tackle. I would not be surprised if the Steelers went defensive tackle first round once again. One Duff, what is actually wrong with saying my name? I mean, even in college during hoops games, the school sports account would live tweet updates and pictures of me. I got no issue with anything. I just don't like the drama in the chat that's going on right now. I need all y'all to back it off. I love all y'all. Andy Joe, in the middle of the test drive, Noah, take your hands off the wheel and tell the salesman that you don't know what to do with your hands. I think you should do a little do you see? I think you should leave. Or what, do you not know how to drive? No.
I'm really scared right now. Not everyone knows how to do everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Would be incredible. That, or you get him with the old hit him with a little Patsy in The Sopranos when he tells Gloria Trillo off. Hit him with a little bit of that. I don't know if you're with me on that reference. Very specific. I think we're talking season 4 of The Sopranos, but
Sopranos reference I will always get, my brother.
Patsy Parisi, his brother Philly gets, taken out.
I know.
Tells Gloria, hey, let's go around no more.
Nate Moore, if Roman Wilson leads all receivers Sunday, Jacob has to buy a jersey.
Deal.
Dude, we're not rolling in the dough teams, like that, dude. I'm Carlos, and you know what I mean? And nobody wants a Roman
I'm saving
jersey.
Scratch over here.
Yeah, nobody wants a Roman Wilson jersey except for Roman Wilson.
Has to be all receivers, both teams, and I'll think about
it. Wendy, great show. Appreciate you. Has anyone asked Tomlin why he signs players then never plays them? What's his answer? If not asked, will you ask? Williams, Jefferson last year, MVS now. Mountain Man will get 2 touchdowns Sunday. Oh, I hope Mountain Man gets 2 touchdowns on Sunday. That would be awesome. Jefferson, unfortunately, played a lot. Unfortunately. Mike Williams, for sure. Not that I think he was going to be very good, but Van Jefferson played more than him. How did we get there? MVS, to be honest, Wendy, no, nobody's. I mean, like you could add. It's all about how you ask. Like if you just asked Mike Tomlin, "Hey, Mike, why do you sign guys and never play them?" He'd look at you and be like, "That's the dumbest question ever because I sign all these. Brandon Eccles got signed." Darius Slay got signed. All these guys are playing because he wouldn't give in to what you were really asking because he'd look at you kind of like a jerk. But if you ask about MVS or anything like that, the way he brushes it off of just like saying it's a practice squad guy shows me that he has almost no intentions of making it anything more, which is maybe something we're missing, but it sure seems like something we should not be missing and that everybody should already know.
I got nothing to add to that. That's well stated.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Shout out to Mike T. Keeping it trucking here. Nate Moore, how many TDs does Rodgers throw this game 6, maybe 7. Good.
No, I was just gonna say, can I wanted to say on here and about Tomlin, but we were moving on. If you allow me for just a quick second, I think just to further illustrate Mike Tom, like there were requests for the head coach today to talk because everyone's of course wondering about Aaron Rodgers. I can't imagine he was too happy about that.
No, he's pissed.
He walked over with the Steelers head of communications or whatever the title he has is, and he was probably 15 steps still away from us. People were just getting their stuff out and ready, and he was just like, limited participant questionable. Like he just like was trying. We were like, wait, there's questions. Wait, Mike.
Like, dude, that's Mike T, man.
So you try asking that man after he is, basically telling you try me with his eyes. You don't want to ask him questions like that. You don't want to ask him any more antagonistic questions. You just want the information and you want to get out of there with your head. And that's it.
John Harbaugh talks every day. Could you imagine? I don't even know what life would be like. I don't even know what my life would be like. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Black Magic, love you, brothers. Appreciate all the work you do. Appreciate you, my guy, for keeping it going. And thanks, Jacob, for being cooler than Noah. I also thank you, Jacob, for being cooler than Noah because somebody needed to be cool on this show. You know what I mean? Somebody. For a long time, it was just me. Shout out Belsky. It's our guy right there. It's our guy. Scott, November 21st, anniversary of Matt Canada getting fired. Shout out to Matt Canada, wherever you are. I think we all need a little moment of silence. I wish we had a beer or something to cheers. You can't cheers water, but to cheers to good old Matt C and the man who was. For sure.
I think there should be a holiday tradition. It's kind of like Bobby Bonilla Day, but instead of like Bobby Bonilla getting paid $1 million, we all make a terrible choice on offense.
I think
once a year.
So could I add my suggestion to this? I think once a year we should all just run a jet sweep on November 21st. That's what I think we should run. I think we should just run
That's a great way to celebrate. Yeah, you're right.
Shout out, dude. Hope Matt C's doing well. Draft a Steelers Nation. Draft a 300-pound nose guard to stop the run. The craziest part about this, and then we'll actually have a real conversation about it, is that man would still be 11 pounds less than Darnell Washington. That is sickening. So nose tackles are tough because you can't draft a nose tackle in the first round. You're not going to draft a guy that's going to play, 40% of your snaps max. That being said, in the second round, third round, you get into those conversations as long as they're really good. The best case scenario is to have somebody that can start at defensive tackle, move to nose tackle, and fit that rotation well. And I don't think that's Keanu Benton, but it would like to be someone else for sure.
You look at, I have ESPN's top, defensive tackles pulled up for the 2026 class. Top 2, Amari Washington out of Oregon and Peter Woods out of Clemson.
Peter Woods is a sick man.
Both 315 and above. So you got to have at least 4 pounds over Darnell to be a nose tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's
Darnell's rocking 311 mid-season, dude. He hasn't picked up a weight in 12 weeks. This guy in June,
400.
Easily 325. Easily 325. No doubt about it.
Big boys coming out this year.
Good. Steelers could use some big boys. Could use some big boys for sure. Keeping it trucking here. Zam, thoughts on George Pickens' comments about the Steelers? Did you see his Players Tribune story today? If not, it's hilarious. He said that there were no hard feelings. Him and Mike T are still cool. When he was there, he admitted he made some mistakes. Shout out to him, getting benched for the first series of game. And then said that with the media, he was messing with them. My thoughts on it is that I tried to tell y'all for so long that GP was trolling us and that GP did not like us, and nobody wanted to listen to me. Shout
Who's
out to
laughing
GP.
now?
George Pickens
Big Strack.
still, because
Oh,
he's
George's. Yeah.
just out there, just, you know what I mean? Could you imagine what's the Dallas Cowboys record right now? It's not a winning record.
I will tell you in 1 second.
Like, not to turn this into the George Pickens power hour here, but I think this is a real conversation to have. Real quick conversation.
4-5-1.
Could you imagine if the Steelers were 4-5-1 and a player, your two best wide receivers, if DK Metcalf and let's say Pat Freiermuth were late to curfew the night before because they were gambling at the Red Rocks? Could you imagine? Could you imagine what would happen?
You know what's here's what I know for sure. If that happened, I guarantee we would not know the reason why those players got in trouble. And you can, the difference between, we might hear stuff. I think we might hear stuff. I think what gets out is very different. And
very true.
I think I think the Steelers are far better, and because I can't really speculate on that, on you know the feels like, but I feel like the Steelers are pretty good at keeping a lid on things. You know, not everything, as we've seen from this year. We've a lot of things have gotten out they didn't want to, but they are, I think, a little bit better than old Doug Dimmadome over the Dallas Cowboys keeping a lid on things, because Jerry Jones doesn't even know how to turn on a computer by himself.
No,
you know?
He probably leaked it. He was probably like, these guys were down at the casino gambling, doing the gambling.
Dang gummity boys. Oh, dang gummity boys.
Oh, dang gummity boys. That would be exactly what it was. Yeah. Shout out to GP, man. He's living his best life for sure. Yeah, forever. Who would the Steelers rather face in the playoffs round one? Pats, Bills, or Chargers? I will easily not the Patriots. Patriots are ridiculous.
Not the Chargers. They waxed
Not
us.
the Chargers either. Honestly, the Bills kind of stink right now. So maybe the Bills. Maybe the Bills. I don't like, the thing with the Bills is that the Chiefs stink right now, and the Chiefs are 5-5. I'd still pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl if somebody asked who's going to win the Super Bowl today. The Bills don't have that same like playoff. Oh my gosh, Josh Allen playoffs. This is, you know what I mean? You put Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the playoffs, I'm going to be like, yep, chances are everybody else is screwed. You know, it's sure. Playoff LeBron. For sure. Josh Allen's like playoff, like Rajon Rondo, you know, like, okay, cool. Did something a couple of times. That was about it.
Well,
no disrespect
I do
to
want,
Rajon.
No disrespect. I wonder if the logic of Asante Samuel Sr. might hold water here, where it's, as he said in defense of Spygate, right? The reason why the Steelers couldn't beat them in 2004 was because it's really hard to beat a team twice, almost impossible. So maybe the Chargers are the ideal first round team to play the Steelers, because if you follow that logic, it's impossible for the Steelers to lose twice to them. Think about that.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. It's very true. One Duff, when I finally mess around and figure out how to podcast with this MacBook, can I please represent Canadian Steelers Nation and make a cameo on the pod? We can make a cameo on your pod for sure, dude. For sure. For sure. Yeah. I feel like if we open up Pandora's box here to everybody jumping on the pod, although I have had conversation. I watched a Broncos podcast. Shout out to Mile High Huddle. Great dudes over there. Chad Jensen's my guy. They once a week, nobody gets some funny ideas and peer pressure us into this. Okay. We do, but once a week, their highest super chatter or whatever gets 10 minutes on that show once a week. I feel like that would be awesome. And then you guys would just tell us that we're dumb. I'm kidding. I love you guys. Just kidding. I love you guys. That's crazy though. We'll make cameo for you guys. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. We also got to go talk some smack, I think, with Tyrone here at some point, because I think we ignored that one. No, you think Warren or Gainwell have a better game? Tyrone, let us know when we're talking smack here, brother. That's the podcast name, Talking Smack with the Steelers Gang.
I love that. I'm in.
Pretty positive. No, you think Warren or Gainwell have a better game? I'm gonna go Gainwell. I know it's bad, but I'm gonna go Gainwell. I just think he touches the football more.
I love that. I was gonna go Warren. Either way, I just think maybe it's too much. Yeah, I mean, he had 80 yards receiving last week. Gainwell did, stepped up admirably. Of course, it's a lot 2 weeks in a row, especially for a guy who you count on in a lot of different ways. And hopefully, this means Jaylen Warren is playing a large part in a game for them as well.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. You gotta hope so for sure. Nate Moore, does Asante Samuel Jr. seem like he might be able to jump on the moving train? I still have hope that Asante Samuel Jr. will be on the moving train. I think if Darius Slay's out this week, it opens the door for the possibility of him getting elevated. I'm not positive on that one, but I do think that it's a possibility for sure. For sure. Do you get the same feeling?
Yes, I will admit that I have growing concerns about his ability to quote unquote jump on the moving train, but I'm going to hold off on making any sort of declarations until I want to get through this game, see how what practice looks like for the team next week as well. And then I think that's when we'll have a pretty clear understanding, for better or for worse, what their plans are for Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah. Mystery. What was your first video game system and what was your favorite game for it? I'm gonna have to go back to I think my first one was man, what was it with the big giant blocks that you put in the top there? An NES or something? Yeah, I think it was an NES.
Maybe 64 or something like that.
Maybe it was 64. I think it was an NES. And it was NBA Jams, easy NBA Jams. That thing was awesome.
That's sick. That's sick. Yeah. The first one I remember is the PlayStation 1. I think it came out in like 2000 or 2001. I was like 4 or 5. And we played Frogger on it all the time.
Frogger was awesome.
Dude, Frogger was awesome.
Ribbit. Frogger was awesome. I will say, what's your favorite video game of all time ever?
Honestly, probably like NHL. Like I would just play that all the time.
It's a great game.
So
Chella's
FIFA in college. Yeah, we would get real and play FIFA till the cows came home.
Same. There's nothing better than coming home at like 2 a.m. and just being like, "All right, trying to play some Chell here," and then you just played until you went, "All right, I'm going to bed, dude." and then you went to bed 6 inches away from the television. It was awesome.
Yep.
Mine was actually Zelda, dude. Big Zelda guy.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah. I was a big random game guy back in the day. Now I'm strictly just like Chell, 2K, Madden, college football, and skate. I sold my PlayStation once I found out Tori was pregnant. I was like, I can't have this anymore. I'm gonna be a dad. I freaked out. You're gonna be a dad. So. Most people sell their 2-door car. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta get rid of this one. You were just like, gotta get rid of the PlayStation. No more. Not next 9 months. Can't even waste it. Gotta go right now. Strat, is Carson Bruner on the 53 man right now? Yes, he is. He is on the 53. Made tackle last week, actually, on special teams. John, how tall is Darnell Washington? 6'15". He's 6'7", actually. He's listed at 6'7". You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's legit weight. They always boost up the weight, but they always, you know what I mean? They are boost down the weight, but they always, you have to be either, if you are 6'2" and above, your actual height is on the stat sheet. If you are 5'6" to 6 foot, you're always getting an inch or two. You know what I mean? Calvin Austin, 5'10". Come on, brother. Come on. Let's be honest. Pistachio salad, former car salesman. I now have a part service locating cars, then negotiate the price on their behalf. Email me. I'll do yours free. I get enough of your free labor listening every day. My guy, dude. My guy. All right. I will actually shoot me an email to let me know your email and we'll talk. I appreciate that. That would be
that's a great service, dude.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's a great idea too, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate car shopping. I hate it so much. There's
Everyone
nothing
does.
that
Who likes it.
Nobody walks in, and I love negotiating. I own a business. You know what I mean? I negotiate all the time, and there's nothing that gets me fired up like being there, being like, No, 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 no. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this. You know what I mean? In a car set, I just want to like kind of fight the guy. I'm always like, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. I don't like it. Stop talking to me. Pistachio salad. Thank you, dude. Hit me up. I really will. I appreciate that. And then we'll finish it off with Loud Harley here. What year do you guys want to draft a quarterback?
I don't care. It could be 2026, could be 2027. Just want them to be good. And I know that's like a cop-out answer, but I don't care. I actually don't. Like, none of us know who the next franchise quarterback truly is for the Steelers. Go make it be whoever. I don't care. 26, 27, 28. Should just ASAP. ASAP is my answer.
Yeah, ASAP would be awesome as long as it's a good one. And I think the next two classes are going to be better than what we think. I'm maxing it out at 20. If you don't have a shot at a franchise quarterback after 2027, fire everybody. I'm talking or take the team away, sell the team. It's over. It's over. It's over. And then we actually will. I want to make sure Ryan gets his question answered. Who you guys got winning the college football championship?
Ooh. Man, I tell you what, I really thought Pitt was going to take down Notre Dame, he said facetiously.
Yeah. As we all
good thing it wasn't an important game for them, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Pitt.
I don't think who do you have like a surefire favorite? Like,
I don't have a surefire favorite by no means. But I don't know. I think Ohio State looks pretty crazy right now. I think
I'd love to see Indiana with Fernando Mendoza. Like, just again,
that would be sick.
That'd be sick. Like, top quarterback in the nation, winning everything. Like, that's an incredible story to watch. I think that's who I want to win. Don't know who I think is actually going to win. OSU is a great bet.
Yeah, I would love to see Indiana win as well. I honestly thought my sleeper was Alabama until the other week, and I went, oh, okay, garbage. So shout out, crushing all our hopes and dreams. All right, guys. With that said, we're heading out of here. Thank you so much for jumping on to another episode of All Steelers Talk. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/All Steelers Talk. Check us out anywhere you get your podcasts. And as always, find all of our work at si.com/NFL/Steelers. With that said, we'll be back on Monday. I hope everybody enjoys another beautiful weekend in the Berg.